Biden is losing, and he's losing confidence. He's losing in the numbers, and people are starting to realize that maybe he's not a strong candidate. And with videos like this, Jerome, please play it away because it doesn't inspire confidence.
Let me get this set up. Hold on.
No problem.
Hold on. Okay.
Here we go.
I'm inspired.
Guys. Here we go.
Do you think there is blood on the president's hands considering the slow response? Or is that too harsh of a criticism?
I think that's a little too harsh. I think what's happening is the failure to, as I watched a prelim to your show where someone said that used the phrase that the president just thinks out loud.
Okay, so let's break that all down. First of all, and again, even in a controlled environment, in a controlled interview, Biden still stumbles with his notes, and there's consequences and repercussions with this. I know we're laughing, but at the end of the day, it goes back to something that myself, Paul, Jerome, Lainey, Kira, we've all said this. Even you guys, our viewers and subscribers, have said this, that if it's between Biden and Trump, well, guess what? There's a good chance that Trump can beat him because right now, this is an article from Common Dreams. I'm very glad to see that their website's back up. Just 24% of Biden supporters very enthusiastic. Less than half of Trump's 53%. That is a huge difference. And I know right now there's a whole bunch of articles on Fox and CNN and The Hill and ABC saying that, oh, well, Biden's beating Trump in certain key states. Okay, that's great, that polling data, but is that the same polling data that was also saying that, oh, well, Biden somehow miraculously won all the Super Tuesday states, even though a miraculously large number of people are voting for Medicare for all or in favor of it, but yet somehow Bernie Sanders people don't show up, polling stations being shut down. I mean, again, this information, though, is very key because it's showing Biden's support, enthusiasm is cut less than good old Donald Trump's. So with 24% of Biden supporters right now reporting that they are very enthusiastic about casting votes for him in November, the former vice president has the lowest of enthusiastic support of any Democratic candidate in the past 2 decades. That's probably even lower than Hillary Clinton. And when you're losing to Hillary Clinton, something bad is happening. So, again, meanwhile, 53% of Donald Trump supporters said that they're very enthusiastic. Of course, he knows how to rally a crowd. He knows how to manipulate a crowd. He knows how to control an entire stage. They're all excited. So the poll surveyed 1,300 Americans and had a margin of error of 3.5 points. Biden's campaign has been notably downplaying key, bold, and progressive policies like Medicare for all, student debt cancellation, and Green New Deal, and a robust paid family leave politics, all key planks that have energized and excited younger voters and those who flock to Senator Bernie Sanders. Well, of course, Biden's campaign is not going to really, promote that stuff because guess what? Biden doesn't believe in it. Even in a hypothetical scenario, when questioned by corporate media, where Medicare for all passes the Senate and House miraculously, it's right there. It's a pure Medicare for all bill. It's presented to President Biden. He would still veto it. Even in the height of this crisis. I mean, that's Biden. That's Joe Biden. But hold on. There's more to this. Because right now, I want to just read a quote from Doug Henwood. Also expressed fears that the poll predicted a similar general election result of 2016. You don't put up a candidate, even his supporters don't love to beat someone whose supporters worship. I mean, come on. Bernie Sanders supporters will show up in mass. Bernie Sanders supporters are enthusiastic. Bernie Sanders supporters dominate social media, whereas Biden supporters, the only thing that's keeping them afloat is corporate media and them, constantly promoting the vote blue no matter who kind of crap. This is why Bernie Sanders needs to be aggressive in challenging the election results, and why Bernie Sanders needs to be more aggressive when talking to corporate media and some of his colleagues in the DNC, because the writing's on the wall. Biden will lose to Trump. Guys, take it away.
I like the Heather Gotney quote, actually. The one where she says, new poll, if Biden wins, he will need Sanders supporters. Otherwise, he loses to Trump. My advice, show much more respect to Bernie supporters. Stop trying to push Bernie out of the primary and quit saying that you would veto Medicare for all. Like, yes,
I mean,
stop saying that thing that is really, really unpopular. Stop doing
the thing.
Super unpopular things, Biden.
Yeah, well, here's the issue too. It's that is, there's a lot of blame that's going to Bernie Sanders supporters. So here's the solution right now to Bernie Sanders supporters. Don't stop and don't get demotivated, because right now we got to keep on pushing forward. Now, of course, right now, primaries should be postponed, but that's also going to be used against us too. I think we got to keep on pushing forward because corporate media, these hacks, are not prepared for this crisis. And even these neoliberal politicians are unprepared for this. take confidence in knowing that you are correct. Take confidence in knowing that you are not wrong or crazy to call it the hypocrisy of Joe Biden and neoliberal Democrats, because the neoliberal Democrats are just like the corporate Republicans. They're all friends with each other. And the math says it all. Biden will lose to Trump. His support base is not energized. I mean, look at Biden's rallies. Look at his town halls. I mean, they don't command the thousands upon thousands of people when Bernie Sanders does it. Daniel, do you have any final notes?
Yeah, so this is exactly what we said would happen with Biden like a year ago. I mean, I feel like it's like bittersweet as usual, because when we're right, everyone fails because no one listened to the stuff we were saying about this. This is all pretty straightforward. Biden stands for absolutely nothing. He's not even willing to go after Trump on TV when his own campaign, he's literally going against his own campaign to do that. He's falling apart. He has feathers in his brain. That was a good title we had by video for a while back. Anyway, he's still collapsing in real time, and yet I still get. We just were talking on Facebook a couple days ago, I believe, where it's like we're all still getting like people are like, yeah, you don't Bernie bros, now step in line, and it's like, guys, you're telling us you're not going to go for Medicare for all, that our viewpoints are irrelevant. Biden literally said millennials he has no empathy for. You're not going to do any of the policies that we care about. The stuff you are going to do is stuff that we actually don't want to happen in the first place. You represent basically the same thing Trump does, and you don't want to differentiate yourself from him in any way. I don't have any confidence you're going to win, yet blue no matter who, no matter what. And yet I will remind everyone, in that week period when it looked like Sanders was going to win the nomination right after Nevada, I had a list of people who were trying to shove blue no matter who down my throat. And I went to them and I said, hey, if Bernie Sanders wins, you're going to have to vote for him, right? And all of them unanimously, there was not a one person who didn't say something along these lines. Well, I mean, he still has to earn my vote. I mean, I'm not going to just vote for him because he's in the Democratic primary. So these are the people we're up against. And I'm not voting for Biden because I'm not going to sully my own dignity, my own feelings, what I think matters in the world, to vote for someone who's going to lose to Trump anyway. What a stupid thing to do. Yet we know exactly what's going to happen. Let me make a prediction now that is obvious now. Biden loses. They're going to turn around again, not know the definition of taking responsibility, and they're going to go, you Bernie bros, it was your fault. It was always your fault. See, the thing is, we're just punching bags to them. We're just meat shields that are sent in front to take care of most of the army, do some fundraising, volunteer, and then we are kicked out immediately while everyone else gets to eat the spoils. And I
want to point out that
this part of that.
This is so much about a narrative and a perception, right? It's about what news has been saying. Oh, well, you've got to vote. Biden is the presumptive nominee. He's the front runner. He's the one that can defeat Trump. That narrative of he's the one that can defeat Trump is like, well, it seems like Bernie's probably got a better chance because people are really more enthusiastic about him. I can't tell you how many people I talk with that are like, well, it can't be Bernie because he won't win. And I don't like Biden. And he's like not even close to my first choice. But let me tell you why you should support him. And it's like, well, how many people Biden was their first choice that they're really excited? Well, it seems like no one. And I like the way Branko Marcetic puts it in the article here, saying this is basically people voting for what they think other people want. Like, let's stop trying to define what we think other people want so that we can vote that way and start voting for what we want. Because when we all get together and do that, turns out it generally is Bernie Sanders.
So
hold on,
really quick.
Go for it.
It's amazing, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about as soon as I say this. It's amazing how so many people that claim to be for Democrats that are for democracy so immediately become authoritarians that demand you to vote the way that they want, which in most cases, as Paul pointed out, is how someone else told them to vote.
You're right.
I just want to say real quick, the one thing to remember, at least from you guys talking, is this isn't over yet. It's not over. Everyone keeps talking about Biden versus Trump, but it's not over yet. We still have time to fight no matter what.
Absolutely.
Yeah, again, I'm still fighting for Sanders, even though his chances are low, because why go with the chances? Why not go with the thing that matters to you? That seems like the logical thing to do.
And again,
Plus,
going
Biden
forward,
might not last. Let's be real.
going forward. Look, there's another solution too, because here's the thing. This is the time for right now. We got to start organizing and planning first we got to change the way we run elections and also promote, yes, third parties. And if there is possibly a window, I know a lot at this point, I don't believe it, but there are some people who still do. Maybe there's a chance of reform. Maybe one of the two parties where progressives could take over. I mean, but again, this is neoliberalism we're talking about. If we don't change the way we run elections, then nothing will get changed. So we got to keep fighting and have a large army.